A judge in Texas ruling that parts of Camp Mystic hit by those devastating floods last summer must stay closed, saying the camp cannot fix any buildings or alter any of the land until the investigation is complete. It's part of a lawsuit brought by the parents of an 8-year-old camper whose body still has not been found. Their attorneys say the camp was not prepared for flooding and made mistakes that cost lives.
If we had taken one person who was not a counselor and gotten on a walkie-talkie or a loudspeaker at any point between 2:20 and 3:15 a.m. and said, we need to go to higher ground, go to specific cabins and evacuate the counselors and campers. There were enough able-bodied people there to follow such an order. True?
Yes, sir.
Morgan Chesky has been following this story. Morgan, what do we know about the judge's ruling in this one?
Hallie, she's issued this temporary restraining order, this TRO, which effectively seals off the Guadalupe portion of Camp Mystic. That is where those 27 young girls were when they were washed away. It's preventing Camp Mystic from moving any land, from renovating, altering any of the buildings there until some investigations run their course. When that will be finished, TBD. But essentially, it allows Camp Mystic to continue operating at the Cypress Lake location of their camp, which is on higher ground, was not impacted by the July 4th flood. But it's allowing investigators to continue to go in and gather evidence on that side of the camp that was overwhelmingly submerged when the Guadalupe River exploded in the early morning hours on the 4th of July. And again, this is coming after 3 days of fraught, emotional testimony from multiple members of the Eastland family. Admitting at various points, Hallie, that they weren't aware of certain weather warnings, admitting that they did not place weather radios in the cabins. And I want you to hear how the flood was described by Katie Eastland, who is the wife of Britt Eastland, one of the sons of Dick, who was washed away when those waters rose.
I've lived at camp a good while now, and we've seen some floods. This wasn't a flood. This was an inland tsunami. I couldn't wrap my brain around why the girls had ever left their cabin.
And as it stands right now, Cypress Lake is the part of the camp that is on high ground. You're looking at images from the Guadalupe portion here, Hallie. We don't know when this TRO will be lifted. We do know that there is another hearing, all part of this lawsuit filed by the family of Seal Stewart, that 8-year-old camper who has not yet been recovered. Hallie.
Do we know about anything that you mentioned, the Cypress Lake portion of the campground? Any extra? What is the camp basically doing differently if they do end up reopening this summer to campers?
Yeah, it's really interesting here because they've submitted an application to the state of Texas asking for their permission to operate as a camp. That has yet to be approved here, Hallie. The first day of camp is, I believe, the last day of May. So we're now in this window of about 6 weeks where more than 800 girls have had families that have put down deposits to go to Camp Mystic Cypress Lake. However, without that permit, without that stamp from the state, they cannot legally operate. So all eyes will be going to that state agency, the Texas Department of State Health Services, to see if they grant Camp Mystic permission for that Cypress Lake location to open this summer. If not, there's going to be some drastic changes that have to happen sooner than later here. Hallie.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.